Hey everyone, welcome back to Hazardous Opinions. Today we will be diving deep into American Ultra. Before we get to that, though, a few programming reminders. This episode will be the end of September for us before we get into spooky season. To kick it off, we will release my Sell Me, The Ritual, on October 4th. A big way you guys can help us is by following us and giving us 5 stars wherever you get your podcasts. Also, reach out to us with anything movies at hazardousopinionspod@gmail.com or on socials like Instagram at hazardousopinionspod, and follow us on Discord and chat with us. Anything movies, guys. We really appreciate all of you and your support. Now, on to Ashlee.
Hey friends, today we'll be talking about one of my absolute fave movies ever, which is American Ultra from 2015. It is about a stoner named Mike Howell who lives in rural West Virginia with his equally stoner girlfriend Phoebe. Mike is your stereotypical stoner type. He works nights at a local convenience store and works on a comic book that he's making himself called Apollo 8, and obviously hanging with Phoebe. But Mike soon finds out that he and his life are not what he's been made to believe. And this was my pick this week, and when me and Hunter first kind of met and started talking about movies, this was one of the first ones I lent him to watch because it was one of my favorites. And so I kind of want to hear what he has to say about it real quick, his opinions.
Oh boy. All right. Yeah. I really appreciate this one because it really kicked off all the recommendations you gave me and really like jump-started our friendship, which is like obviously special to both of us, and got us to here. So American Ultra, it was a really fun one to like for you to give to me to like kick everything off, because a couple of the other ones that you've suggested are pretty fucked up, honestly.
I know,
but hey, we both love fucked up. It's okay. So you like, for some reason, you totally got my movie taste. And American Ultra, so on Letterboxd, I'll say it's an average of 2.9 out of 5 stars. And when you look at that, it's kind of like it's more than 50%. So that's great.
Yeah,
actually. My personal rating, I'd say if I'm going with the Letterboxd ratings, I do 3 out of 5 stars. And I'll obviously deep dive into like why I give it 3 out of 5. But this one, honestly, when preparing for the pod, I watched it 3 times. I just really wanted to know it. I wanted to live in it and give it my best shot for you, since you're passionate about this one. It also really helped me realize if this is one I can rewatch down the road or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, just I think it's a comfort movie for most of it.
Yeah.
For me, I would say. So I would return to this.
Yeah, this is definitely a comfort movie for me too, and I'm glad that we're ending September with it on the last day, because it kind of gives me some like fall vibes.
It kind of does.
Like the setting and the color and their outfits and stuff.
Oh yeah,
it's like cozy. Yeah,
the flannel
and like the layers. I don't know. That's a little irrelevant, but it gives me like fall vibes.
No, I like that. Yeah. In North Dakota right now, you can maybe tell from our accents that we're from North Dakota, but it's kind of up and down right now, and we're just really ready for.
It's fall in the morning and very much so summer in the afternoon.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I suppose I should probably give my rating. If you were done?
Yeah. No, I'm all done.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
So, on IMDb, which is what I'm very used to, I'm going to get better about using Letterboxd, I swear. But
She better.
I know. But on IMDb, it is a 6.1 out of 10. And my IMDb rating, I'm going to go high with a 9.2. Because I love it so much.
Awesome.
And it makes me so happy.
Awesome.
I'm taking away 8 points.
Yeah, 0.8.
0.8 points. Because I wish it was longer.
Ooh. I actually, when we get into it, that's one of my reasonings for me having,
Yeah.
docking some. Yep.
I just, yeah. And on Letterboxd, since you can only go points or half points, a 4.5 for me on Letterboxd.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 4.5 stars. All right. Okay.
But yeah, a little bit about the director, I guess. I do not know how to pronounce his name, so sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Nima Nourizadeh, I think.
I honestly, that's what
I'm trying my best.
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't really do much, but he directed Project X first. That was his first movie. And I also saw he directed 2 episodes of The Gentleman, Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman on Netflix, which is a really good series. That just got renewed for season 2, by the way. And it was written by Max Landis, who he wrote Chronicle, which is another one of my faves. But I heard is a piece of garbage, so I didn't dive in real life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I didn't want to dive too deep in there, but he did write it. And Chronicle, so I just had to mention that.
I know. I noticed Chronicle on his credits
Yeah.
for writing, and I was like, hell yeah. Like, I enjoyed that one, too.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's, I guess, getting into the movie starts out by saying, oh, no, wait, we have to say who stars in it.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike and Phoebe are played by Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
And I am not a Jesse Eisenberg fan normally, but I love him in this. Like, it was perfectly casted.
My wife isn't a fan of him, but honestly, everything I've seen him in, I don't care how awkward he is. I like the guy.
Yeah,
I do.
I know you do. We love The Social Network the most too, so.
I know. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I thought that they were perfectly casted in this because and they're written like so believable, and
Yeah.
I don't know, they're just them together, like their relationship when you see them together in the beginning, it's very believable. Like they're established, like it just seems natural for them to like be together.
I'll get into it, but like that's
same.
one of my favorite parts
Yeah.
about it, and the chemistry they have together too. Like with being in Adventureland, I checked out after watching.
I didn't watch that one yet.
Oh man, you
I know that I will love it. I just haven't gotten
It's
around
one of the
to
best
it.
like just stoner hangouts, and like when we talk about movies being set in like amusement parks more.
Oh, we do love a good amusement park setting.
Like when we talked about Totally Killer, and
Yeah.
all of us
Or
were like,
Hellfest.
yes,
Haunt. Yeah.
yep,
Always good.
Oh man,
But, yeah. And then there's also Topher Grace is in here. Wait, should we even get into that yet? Or bring it up when we mention him in the plot?
oh no, you can totally bring up like any familiar faces.
Okay. So there's those 2 in here, and we have Connie. I believe her last name is Britton.
That's how I've always pronounced it. We could be wrong, but
Probably. But
maybe.
she's in so much stuff, but I always recognize her as Violet's mom from American Horror Story Murder House, the first season.
Hell yeah.
So I always say that's Violet's mom when I see her
Good
places. And Topher Grace has a really hilarious role in here as well. And yeah, and John Leguizamo. I
Yes.
love his character in this one too, and we'll get into him later on. But
Yeah.
it's a pretty good couple of my faves in the cast. So
I know a lot of familiar faces, and also one to add,
Walt Goggins.
Walton Goggins.
Walton Goggins.
He's one of the biggest, like that guy.
I know he's like in Fallout.
everything. Yes, in like, I'll say I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it because Walton Goggins is just awesome.
Yeah.
There's another actor I noticed in here that like I recognize from a lot of earlier movies. Bill Pullman.
Is he Kruger
The
in here?
He's the one that warns Connie Burns.
Yeah, Kruger. I think his name is.
Okay, sorry, I forgot his character name, but yes, yeah, he's the guy with the gray hair.
Yeah.
Do you recognize him from anywhere?
He's on so much stuff, and I can't think of like movies and stuff I've seen, but I always recognize him from the series Sinner.
He's a detective in there.
Yes, in every season. So I always think of him in that one.
suggested that to me too.
Yeah.
But anything else?
I didn't look him up before we made the pod in my notes.
Oh sure.
Because I knew I was going to mention that one, but he's in so much stuff. Like good stuff.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Never seen.
Spaceballs.
Never seen.
Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Okay, never mind.
But we love him.
We do. Bill Pullman.
Okay. So, I suppose... get into the plot a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry to get you off track. Just one of the... Yeah, you know how we are. Yeah.
So, the movie starts out, we see Mike in a jail cell, looking pretty horrific. And
grungy as shit.
Yeah. Difficult to look at.
Actually, in my notes, I described him as Shaggy.
Yeah, difficult to look at for sure. But, yeah, he's sitting there and the music that starts playing and you get flashbacks that are flashing through of the movie, and you can kind of just see in glimpses what you're kind of going to get into, and it instantly draws you in.
Oh.
And I just love it every single time it starts.
Definitely. The prison chains rattling to begin the movie, it kind of catches your attention. It's like, hey, the movie is starting. Pay attention.
Yeah.
It's not a loud plunge into it. It's almost like a softer alarm clock or a little bell. And even though even if you don't tune in right away, people that hate fidgeting will be put on notice for sure.
True. That's a good point.
Sorry.
No, go.
Since you mentioned the flashbacks, that's what I was trying to get. I do like that this movie does that fast rewind over all the crazy events throughout the movie without showing too much. The fast pace editing helps, really choppy, and doesn't give away too much that way. I'm really wondering why the hell is Shaggy Jesse Eisenberg being questioned in a prison. So it does grab my attention with the story.
And why does he look like that?
Exactly, which is a good start for me.
It just draws you in right away.
Yeah, definitely.
And the music too, the score. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, I don't either. With movies, I'll be honest, I'm starting to get more into score.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge music head. Music does elevate things for me, though. That's why I'm trying to get more into it with movies.
I'm not normally either, music, score wise.
Really?
I notice it, but in this one specifically, it's unlike, it really adds to this story. I just really like how it sounds though too.
Definitely.
So for me personally, that was one of the things that drew me in. And whenever it started playing, I knew I was going to see something so cool happen. Exactly.
And also with the flashbacks when the crime scene photos with Mike listing off the ordinary objects involved in a crime scene, and also that teddy bear and frying pan. This movie is going to be different.
The bloody spoon.
There we go. Then I notice Bill Pullman, standing outside the one-way glass, and I have a feeling quite a few familiar faces are going to be popping out. Already things to be excited for with this movie, which, it just grabs me. That's good. Yeah. When we're formally introduced to Mike at the beginning of the story with the bowl of smoke, almost gone smoke joints, West Virginia being in the middle, written in that bowl, and especially them living in a normal ass town in West Virginia. It's just kind of a ordinary setup, before obviously all that shit goes down that was put in front of us.
I do really love that collage of him talking about how much he loves Phoebe and seeing little snippets into their relationship. And
exactly. Yeah. When he says we were the perfect fucked up couple, she was perfect and I was the fuck up. I love that quote. And honestly, props to Max Landis on quite a few lines of dialogue throughout the movie. He also wrote Chronicle, which we mentioned, which I did like. I will say some didn't land, some lines in this movie, but 80% I loved for this action comedy.
It does have I do love a lot of the dialogue, so.
Right.
Even though he's a piece of shit, he did write a really good movie.
Yeah, do you know any
allegations?
Allegations.
The bad allegations.
Bad.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. We don't have
I didn't dive deep into it, but okay. I think he's still working though.
Okay.
I didn't look into it before the pod. I probably will afterwards.
Yeah. Well, now you got me curious.
Yeah.
And probably got everybody else curious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, before this movie, I was more familiar with Jesse Eisenberg compared to Kristen Stewart. I had only seen Stewart in Twilight, Happiest Season, and Underwater. After you told me to watch this, I immediately wanted to watch Adventureland, like I mentioned. And I can't believe I hadn't seen that before either. But I really enjoy Kristen Stewart and Jesse Eisenberg's chemistry. It's not electric chemistry, but comfortability, I'd say.
They're both awkward actors.
They are.
So
yeah.
it's like perfect that they're together.
Like Nell came into the room as I was watching and she's like, is that Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, isn't Jesse Eisenberg like awkward all the time? I'm like,
so is she.
He is awkward in other. Honestly, this one, he's not really awkward.
And neither is Kristen Stewart.
No, they're more just chill.
Yeah.
If you can.
I think this is like one of my fave Kristen Stewart performances.
I think so.
I love her in this one.
I think so too. Yeah, yeah.
And when I first saw this, like her red hair like that, she really reminds me of my older sister.
Really?
Yes. And
did your sister have red
well,
hair too?
In her senior year of high school,
okay,
she was gonna get her senior pictures done, her and my cousins.
Okay.
And she came home and she had a bright red hair like that, and my mom was so pissed.
No.
So, but she looks beautiful in her pictures, but she has like the bright hair like that.
Oh man.
But yeah, just her character in this movie just also like reminds me of my sister.
Okay, so like that little connection to keep you going throughout the movie. That's awesome.
I just love it.
Yep. All right.
Oh, and Ryan, he also met I was like, Jesse Eisenberg. And he was like, Jesse Heisenberg, like mixed Jesse Pinkman and Heisenberg into one name.
Oh my God.
I was like, but yeah, he did it on purpose, but still, I was like, all right.
Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Okay, so after the introduction, Mike's panic attack before boarding the plane obviously doesn't feel normal because of the rewind we went through.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So we'll start at the airport and his panic attack.
Well, they're trying to go to Hawaii, but then Mike obviously has a panic attack in the bathroom, and then it just cuts to them driving home. And you find out that that's not the first time, and it happens every time they're trying to, like, leave town, go on a trip or anything. He always has the panic attacks. But Phoebe's really understanding about it for some reason. She
is. Yeah, yeah. And, I mean, to go along with that, Mike and Phoebe's first conversation in that car that we get, just a full back and forth, you can immediately tell that Mike is not the stoner loser that is plopped into, like, a Judd Apatow movie or something, like one of those like Seth Rogen comedies and stuff like that. They're self-aware that the characters are losers and need to grow up and stuff, but like he's more so kind and mindful of Phoebe's feelings and not just his own, with being down on himself about the panic attack. And he actually doesn't want to disappoint her. It's so, oh man, it hits me.
I just love them, and you don't need much backstory to know that they just love each other so much. You can just tell. I don't know. I just love it.
Exactly. The cop.
Did you mention the cop?
He's such a dick right away and such a bully. That's all I really wanted.
Yeah.
Like, you always get that guy that just needs to mess with the main character a little bit.
Yeah.
And Mike's just like, he doesn't do anything.
I know. And we also learn, so they get pulled over after they leave the airport.
Yeah. Yep.
And we find out from the cop who comes to harass them. Mm-hmm. And we learn that Mike has been in and out of jail because he asked Mike if he wants to keep a toothbrush at the jail for when he comes back again. So there's like that, like probably why he feels like he's a fuck up sometimes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We never really hear why he was in and out, though. I'm assuming weed charges.
Honestly, I was going to ask you about that. That is a question in my notes. Like, what has Mike done besides smoke weed,
Yeah. I would assume...
It was weird when the cop mentioned that he had to drive him back home after one of his panic attacks.
Because he was trying to leave. So I think he was trying to tell Phoebe... Mike was trying to, like, leave, I think, without Phoebe knowing. and the cop found him and took him back home.
Oh.
Maybe Phoebe didn't know. I don't know why she wouldn't be with him while he's trying to leave.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, so a little, I kind of have some of those questions, but at the same time, it's just a very fun, comfort action comedy. Mm-hmm. So, like, do we really need that? Yeah.
Is this where do we meet Lassiter now? Or now do we get to the part where they're sitting on the car?
Before that, I was going to say that you can tell this is a fucking small town because everyone is in everyone's business.
Yeah.
And it makes me shudder because I grew up in one.
Me too. I grew up on the reservation, which is really small.
Right.
Like smaller than most small towns.
And you see it from the outside looking in too. And you're like, you just shake your head. And you wish people would see this stuff. Like, stop being in people's business. But yeah, okay. So
Mike and Phoebe go back home, and Phoebe's obviously sad and unpacking her Hawaiian button-ups with the tag still on it. Yeah. And Mike was planning to propose to Phoebe in Hawaii, so he's sitting there with his ring that he wants to give to Phoebe, thinking now would be a good time to propose to her. So do you know the song that plays?
No.
Okay, so
do you?
No.
Okay.
Did I just say he just puts on one of their fave songs?
Yeah, puts on, like, I saw it's a Hawaiian vinyl.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay, so Mike is sitting there with the ring he wants to give to Phoebe, and he thinks it would be a good time to propose to her since he didn't get to on the Hawaii trip. So he picks up a Hawaiian vinyl and starts to play it to cheer Phoebe up, and then
what a gesture.
I know, so sweet.
Like, the simple things. He tries to fix it as best as he can.
Yeah. And then he's also making an omelet, so when he's about to ask her, it starts on fire.
Yes.
And Phoebe burns herself and has to throw the pan in the sink.
Like, when the ring pops out, though, before that, like, omelet starts burning, I'm not disappointed like Phoebe was anymore.
Yeah.
When the ring comes out, I'm like, okay, you're still trying, buddy. And when Phoebe wants Mike to leave the cooking to her after that omelet burning, and he says, I will, sorry. And Phoebe yells at Mike, stop apologizing. That sums up me with anyone, honestly. I'm a people pleaser. It's a habit. I like to take accountability, but I want to adopt the phrase, my bad, instead of I'm sorry more, maybe.
Yeah.
Would that help, you think?
I don't know. When I say my bad, Ryan thinks I have an attitude.
Oh, man. I mean, I guess you could take it like as sassy.
And I probably do have an attitude.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan, you're right.
Hey.
I'm just kidding.
But after the ring and omelet incident, we cut to the introduction of Connie Britton's character, Victoria Lassiter, who, this always makes me laugh. She's sitting there reading, like, transcripts that she's supposed to decipher.
Oh, that's what she's doing.
She's trying to decipher. She's like, how the fuck am I supposed to read this? And, like, every single line is, like, blacked out with a black Sharpie, but they're still, like, asking her to figure out what it says.
Oh, my God. I love that you brought that up to me. I didn't notice that.
And all the words were blacked out except for, there's one word, Melon Harry Potter.
Melon Harry Potter.
Out of all the ones that were blacked out, those were the only words that were, like, on the, for some reason. It only flashes for, like, a second, but.
Yeah, so here's all these blacked out words. You can only take these three, figure it out.
Yeah.
Basically, like, here's a clue.
And you find, I didn't realize this the first couple times I ever watched it. You know how Topher Grace kind of took her spot? So he's giving her the shitty work, so he made her do that.
Oh, no, of course.
Isn't that so funny?
Yeah.
I just realized that.
That kind of sets up their whole relationship to go throughout the movie that we see. Yeah.
And I'm going to mention that too.
Oh,
I really
perfect.
like their rival. Okay, anyways.
I know. That little shit.
I know.
God.
Okay.
Well, and we can talk about it since, like, Connie Britton's character is just Lassiter is being introduced with the transcripts. Her old assistant comes in. Petey.
I love him. I don't know who he...
Do you recognize him?
I do, but I didn't look up what...
It's Tony Hale. He's from Arrested Development.
Didn't watch.
Damn it. Okay, that's a good comedy series
I
with
know.
Jason Bateman.
I know.
Yep. And
Aaliyah Shawkat.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. He's also in Chuck. He's in. I feel like he's just that guy.
Yeah,
too.
he is.
Like
but
everywhere.
I really love him in this one.
Yeah. No, he's so funny. He always. I don't know. He's one of those guys that talks like very feminine
Yeah.
and stuff, and like it gets a laugh out of me a lot of times. Just in his actions, his face. He's
Yeah.
very
Expressive?
Yeah, kind of like I am right now with my hands. Nobody can see, but yeah.
Okay. So we're introduced to Lassiter. She's sitting there with her papers. And then
The assistant comes in, Tony Hale.
Yep. Petey. And she hears a phone ringing in her desk, and her and Petey look at each other like, oh, fuck. Like, that never rings. Yeah. And so on the other line, she answers it, and what does he say again?
Oh, yeah. He's kind of talking about
like warning her, just giving her a heads up that
what is it called? Strongman Initiative?
Hers is Wise Man.
Hers is Wise Man, and he says the other one is
Tough Guy.
The tough guy operative is being released or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
it's starting.
Yeah.
Or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically gives Victoria Lassiter a heads up that her project, how do we say that? We can't say Mike's the project.
Asset.
She picks up the phone, and there's a masked voice on the other end giving Victoria a heads up that one of her assets is going to be taken out, pretty much. And he was doing that as like a courtesy, letting her know, but to not interfere. And so after that...
nice deep voice changer, by the way.
Yeah.
I wish it was Ghostface.
I was going to say Scream is shaking. Well, Ghostface. But so after that phone call, she's walking through the building, and then we're introduced to pretty much her like rival.
That used to be underneath her.
Yes, so he's her new boss now.
Go boss, bitch.
Yeah. But it's Topher Grace, and he is Yates. Yeah, just from like their first like interaction that we see, you can tell that there is just like a rivalry between them, and it is so funny. Like the dialogue when he pulls her into the office. Like one thing.
Oh, yeah, that like towards more the middle of the movie.
No. Remember he...
Oh, no, that is at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now get the fuck out of my fucking office.
Whenever she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, ooh, language. Like covering his ears.
Topher Grace is so good at that.
Love
like
Topher.
kind of going back and forth. I wish he was in more things. I don't think like there's like people don't really write roles well that connect well with him, I feel. Or some disconnect with that, I feel.
He's just so great in everything. Like he was in the episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
He's just in a lot of... I'm excited to watch Flight Risk.
Flight Risk.
The one where he's on the airplane.
A movie?
Yeah, we saw the trailer for it.
Flight Risk.
When we went to Beetlejuice.
Oh my God. That's right. Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways.
It's something to be excited for.
Yeah, but yeah, they just like shit on each other so bad.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And it's just so funny. But one of the lines that makes me laugh that I just think of like all the time for some reason from that scene, when she's like, "What are you, Daffy Duck?"
That's the exact quote I just wanted to bring up. Yeah.
That always makes me... I think of it randomly sometimes. But,
then I must be doing something
yeah.
right.
It's so good. When Lassiter goes to talk to Yates, she's wondering why he is trying to get rid of her Wise Man program. And he said that Mike, our main character, is trying to leave town. And so we learn Mike has something to do with the CIA, and he like has a target on his back now. And since Topher Grace's character Yates is running things now, he wants to implement his own version of the Wise Man program, which he's called Tough Guy. So he just wants to clean house of anything previous that he wasn't a part of.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel bad because So I'll get into it now since we're on it, but these parts, I love the actors and actresses that are involved, obviously, like Connie Britton and Topher Grace and Tony Hale. But for some reason, I can't really, since I did rewatch this a couple times already, I can't really get down with, that sounds very old fashioned to me, getting down with, with the CIA parts where it's not focusing on Phoebe and Mike.
Yeah.
I love Mike and Phoebe's part of it. And like, it's not the performer's fault or anything. Honestly, I would put it on writing a bit. I would, for me.
And for me, I do like those parts.
Perfect.
Because their dialogue and just shitting on each other nonstop anytime they talk to each other is so funny to me. So
that part is funny. I'll take that.
And later on too, and he's like, "Did you just hang up on me?" We'll get to that, but
oh yeah.
But anyway, so we get a little backstory there, and then we cut to Phoebe and Mike laying on the hood of their car, smoking a joint, of course.
Of course.
And Mike is telling Phoebe about a new idea for Apollo 8.
I appreciate that even though Mike is high and Phoebe, they don't have these profound stoner questions and not say anything else after. Like, I mean, you ever think about like how we got here, man, and shit like that, and then it just trails off. It's such a stereotypical stoner character to put into a story, you know, most of the time. And he actually has thoughts that do correlate, and we kind of get that hint of a very intelligent mind. It's like Mike is trying to break free of this normal life and being a better version of himself by talking about these adventures of Apollo 8. He's wishing he was Apollo 8 out there doing stuff. It's, oh man.
I know.
I could tear up.
And Phoebe is so supportive and loves it so much and wants him to like pursue it. But while they're sitting there smoking, they're looking over and they see like a crime scene where a car is crashed into a tree. Mm-hmm. And there's like cop cars down there, whatever. And Mike starts saying, do you ever think about like the car that is
always moving?
And then there's like, and you think it's going to be like just like stoner talk.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then it goes into a metaphor of their relationship and how he feels he's the tree and Phoebe's the car. And so it's like not just like stoner talk. He had like something important to say.
Thank you. Yeah, no, you're on track with me with that. Yeah, for sure. I like that it's a through line for their relationship throughout the whole movie. That conversation right there about the tree in the car. The car is always moving. The tree's there in its way, stopping it from going anywhere. Like, wow.
I know. I love
so
that.
So profound. The biggest thing with this movie that I relate to is Mike being so hard on himself. Because I'm hard on myself. My anxiety does aggravate that. I'm just that type of person. And obviously, it's a very negative mindset. With those small human things with like Mike as a character and me relating to that, that's big for me. That's a big reason why Mike and Phoebe are so large in this movie for me and pop out to me. Is, you know, just because of those little things. It sounds really dumb, but yeah, just struck a chord with me. And Mike and Phoebe laying in bed, cuddling and talking to each other is one of my favorite scenes. Just those little small, intimate moments, you know, like the way Phoebe says, "I fucking love you," like just stuff like that. It's just they just mesh very well together. And then after that little intimate moment, we meet Rose, one of our guys.
Yeah, I love Rose. He's played by John Leguizamo, and he pulls up in this like spray painted green van.
Oh my god!
And Mike pulls up, and they're in front of like a. They're in front of an adult store.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
I didn't see the name
like
of
our
it.
Risques here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, as soon as Rose gets out, he's just like has like this chaotic energy about him, and Mike's buying fireworks from him, and I don't know, this movie's not super known, but he reminds me so much of his character Spider from the movie Spun.
Spun.
Yes.
I've never seen it. Is it a good movie?
It's so good. It has Jason Schwartzman, Brittany Murphy, Mickey
Oh my
Rourke.
God. Okay. Adding it to my letterbox right now. Everybody add that to your letterbox.
It is so good, but they're like very same drug dealer, like all over the place. But yeah, I love Rose.
It's funny you think Mike is visiting a mean, crazy drug dealer named Rose. Not even a woman, by the way. I totally thought it was going to be a woman. Like, hey, that's a beautiful name for a man. Go right ahead. He's in this cool van, like you said, and he's just being a bro and giving him fireworks and drugs. It's really cool. Mike is trying to propose to Phoebe in a big way still, too. And
he's like, your bitch is going to love this.
Exactly. Like, it's just, usually it's, like I said, it's so stereotypical sometimes in stories. And I just don't like that. And this is a breath of fresh air. And I think John helps that in his performance too. Obviously, he's just awesome.
Always.
Yeah.
One of my fave things, and he's like, okay, thanks for the fireworks, Rose. And he's like, what, you want to drop some acid or something? He's like, no thanks, Rose, it's 8:15 in the morning and after.
Oh my God. Just one of those little like casual lines, like, yeah, no, I'm good.
And I know so many people who would definitely do that at 8:15 in the morning.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no thanks, Rose, I gotta go to work.
Yeah, bye. I'm good.
But yeah, Mike goes to work and he's just organizing stuff, sitting at the cash register, and Lassiter comes in, pretending to buy some stuff.
Really looking like she's blending in, by the way, with those sunglasses and overcoat.
Yep, on all black.
Yeah.
But she starts saying like words. How do I describe them?
Yeah, it's kind of like activation phrases.
Yes, you're right, activation phrases.
Yeah.
And Mike is just like, what? And then
I love it.
yeah, she's just like repeating it, and he's like, are you gonna buy something, lady?
And it seems so serious too, like when she starts saying the last phrases before she does like walk out of the store. It seems serious, and it seems like, oh my God, something's happening.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of comes to like, yeah, you gonna buy it? Yeah, like you said. And when she leaves, do you want your soup?
She was like, I'm sorry, Mike, I really tried.
Yeah.
And then he goes outside and sees people messing with his car in front of the convenience store.
Yeah.
He goes outside to smoke a joint.
Yes.
And sees them messing with his car.
Yeah.
And he's just like, hey, get away from my car. Like,
hey, stop messing with my car.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Stop doing stuff to my car.
yeah,
I think
that's what it was.
the way he said it and just the wording, it just got me. I
like,
love
we're so non-confrontational. That's probably what we'd say if someone was fucking with our stuff.
I can imagine you walking out too.
But obviously the activation phrases worked because
No, yeah, he's just...
yeah, the guys try to come and attack Mike, and he'd like switch flips, and he just fucks these guys up
Oh, man.
bad.
Yes.
Kills them with a spoon, and it's so like fast paced and comes out of nowhere. Like, he doesn't even know he's capable of it.
Exactly. No, it's just boom, boom. Like, yeah. This action is more violent than I thought it would be, and I'm actually grateful for it, though.
Oh my God, me and my cousin Conrad, whenever we would watch this together,
Yeah.
because he doesn't like Jesse Eisenberg either.
God damn it.
Sorry, but we always die laughing, and we'll even mention it when we talk.
Okay.
Of how when he calls Phoebe, Mike calls Phoebe to let her know that he like murdered people.
Yeah.
So she comes over there and she's like, "What the fuck?"
Really normal call to get at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way Mike is standing behind that little tiny pole as if he's like hiding behind it.
Oh my God.
I don't know why that just always cracks me up.
It fits his character, though.
Yeah.
Like, Jesse Eisenberg, I feel, just stays in the Mike character, like, it just the whole time, and it's really cool. When Phoebe comes, I shot those guys in the head, and that guy, I like spooned him in the neck, and his shit just like ended.
Yeah.
That's one of my
I love-
favorite quotes. Like, shit just like ended. Like, oh man, I think I started crying, laughing last night watching it just during that part. I love it. So after Mike and Phoebe are standing there for a bit, like wondering what the hell to do, obviously that small town cop pulls up that was already involved with them earlier in the movie. We're already familiar, thankfully. It's not just a random person popping in, but then takes Mike to the jail.
Cuts to them in jail. Phoebe and Mike are in a jail cell.
Yep.
And Phoebe is trying to figure out what happened with Mike. And he's explaining how this lady came in and talked to him, and he's trying to remember what she said. And he started remembering lots of stuff. Like, he remembered what Lassiter said to him, which obviously Phoebe's like, what the fuck even is that? But it reminded me of Limitless. After, you eat the drug and you just start like remembering all kinds of like random stuff.
Right.
That just briefly reminded me of that. But
okay. Funny. All right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Andy.
Yes, thanks, Andy.
Miss you, Andy.
But yeah, then this is the first scene where we're introduced to the tough guy assets, which is Walter Goggins. Walt.
Ashlee, are you kidding?
No,
one of our guys.
I know, but what's his?
Put some respect on
I
his
always
name.
call him Laugher.
Walton Goggins.
Walton Goggins. I call him Laugher.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I knew that. I just like blipped out for a sec.
Andy, can you message Ashlee for me and just give her some shit for that? Because I know you love Walton too. Oh man. Yeah. Like, okay, with introducing those two assets for Yates's program, the Tough Guy program. Topher Grace, by the way, was the right pick for a dickhead agent trying to climb the ranks. But now there's a big threat with Laughter and Crane with our guy Walton Goggins, and I don't recognize that actress that plays Crane at all. And I get why Laugher is called Laugher. I don't really get why Crane is called Crane, honestly. But hey, it's all right. I love that. Like, I love that we give this like goofy, violent character that feels like a threat actually in our fun action movie. I love that he gets kind of that nickname.
Well, whenever
a little more character.
Whenever I see him in anything,
you just think of Laugher.
I refer to him as like Laugher.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that mostly where you know him from though?
I know him from a lot of more stuff now, but at the time I hadn't seen much stuff with him in there.
Oh, sure.
So that's why that always stuck with me.
Yeah, I get you because some very like popular actors and actresses all watch their newest stuff and not know about their like where they got big and stuff like, where people really know them from. So I get you.
Yeah. But thanks. But yeah, that's when we get our first like really big fight scene is when those two infiltrate the jail.
Yeah, Laughter and Crane.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When small town prison assaults are done right, I do really enjoy them, and they feel claustrophobic, like this one does. That's what I enjoy about them. It's not like just one room in a house, or even just a house. It's just, I don't know. Jails feel different, with those cells and stuff like that. You can just you can add elements of story into a jail. These cops get fucked on.
I felt sad for them, actually.
Yeah.
Especially because they're trying to let Phoebe and Mike go.
Oh,
to save themselves, or like to save Mike and Phoebe, they like took off their handcuffs.
I was gonna say Sheriff Watts redeemed himself at the end there, locking Crane's leg up to the chair with the handcuffs, and him yelling "Go!" They honestly probably would have been shot right there. So very clutch of him to do. Wow, I don't think I used that word very much ever in my life. Okay. But like R.I.P. He redeemed himself. I forgive him for being selfless.
Yeah.
He was a dick and a bully in the beginning, but hell yeah. We love a character redeeming themselves.
Honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mike Crane throws a grenade at Mike and Phoebe, and Mike catches it. And
Oh, before you get to that, I'm sorry. It like in the prison, when Walton Goggins as Laughter like comes walking in, and we kind of get more of him. I love also like when he's introduced, him and Crane. I love that it's a silhouette
And
he starts laughing. Yes, awesome shot right there. I know we love like cinematography and shots, so I love that. But also like he has a great maniacal laugh too. And I also like when Mike fights, he's not invincible. When he's fighting Laugher, like he gets beat up a little bit. Like they're kind of trading blows.
I love
like
a
that.
realistic fight like that.
Exactly.
It's not like
figured
it's
you
not
would
like
too.
a superhero type of like he's like a regular guy.
Do you want to start shitting on MCU stuff right now?
I would really love to, but I'm not.
Okay,
It's
no,
not the
we're
pod.
not. No. I love some of that stuff, so don't.
I was gonna mention though, I cringe every time Mike puts the handcuffs on his knuckles and punches Laugher in the mouth and breaks out his teeth. And then he just doesn't have teeth for the rest of the movie. I feel so sad for him.
I know, like I'll get into that more like when he talks without them.
Yeah.
It's funny and it adds to his character, but also like you said, kind of sad. You feel bad, like, because he sounds more innocent, like a kid.
Yeah, he
in
does.
a way, right? Yeah, like
Okay, so after the jail gets blown up, that's when Yates finds out that Mike has been activated. So he's calling Lassiter like, why did you activate him? And so since he knows Mike's activated and is like causing like damage like around, he sets up a perimeter to lock down the entire town, which I really like because the movie is just them going different places around the town, which I don't know. You get to see the town more. You get to see like, it's just, I don't know. I really like that part of it.
It adds to the small town feel.
Yes.
Yep. You get more of a feel for the town. It's not just like, oh, here's this one store and this one house. That's it.
Yeah. They're like walking around.
Yep.
To place.
Yeah. Yeah. At night too, when it's really like dead out. I like that too, because it adds even more to the small town, because I remember going on Main Street with my friends like late at night, just going for a cruise like you do as cool high schoolers, but like just empty.
Yeah.
Just dead.
And then that was kind of what gave me like fall vibes too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always get that vibe from it.
I get you. Yeah. And because of the runtime and somewhat contained story, I get that we don't have enough time for Mike before he became a sleeper agent. I wish we did, because of the flashbacks to his childhood,
I think those were implanted.
Oh.
Those were not his real memories.
Okay, so that makes me want his backstory more. The real. I want to know about him before this.
Well, from my understanding, they were taking troubled youth.
Yes.
And
delinquents.
Doing that, yeah. Yep. So
he was 18, I think they said. 18 years old. So he was kind of just troubled young adult.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I get you. I even long for Phoebe's backstory.
Yeah, because when we find out later on what she is.
Yeah.
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 I like how she got there.
But no, this is a very like you said, you wish this movie was longer, and like I agree with you in like this sense that I just said. But it is a really like fun, contained action comedy, even though it involves the government and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get like a little of everything, and it's kind of rom-commy too.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, that's
it's with a really sweet love story.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It is emotional, honestly.
But to move our characters along,
yep,
they want to go to Rose's house to like hide out.
I was so happy to be reunited with Rose. Oh my gosh.
So they're like, or Mike's car blows up.
Yeah, forgot to mention that.
He's like, oh, that's what they're doing to my car.
Yeah.
And he's like, guess we're walking. So then they walk to Rose's house.
Everything is going to be fine. Let's just get in my car.
Yeah.
It just blows up.
So they get to Rose's house, which I know I already mentioned this was like such Spun vibes because Spun takes place a big time in like his like trap housey type.
Oh,
Like he's a drug dealer in Spun
yeah,
too.
kind of like his headquarters.
Yes.
A little bit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But he's like, you guys don't have the monkey disease, do you?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like,
as soon as he mentions that, yeah, you're wondering about it, and then it comes onto the TV.
And then
it becomes a bigger thing.
Then I thought of 28 Days Later.
Cillian, where he had.
I know.
Would Cillian Murphy fit in this movie ever as anyone?
I was gonna say maybe Topher, but Topher's too perfect.
I want to see
for the role.
I want to see Cillian in a comedy role. Now that we're talking about it, I haven't really seen him in a comedy role. I might be wrong, but
nothing I've seen that I can think of.
Nothing that I've seen. I want to. Gosh. Okay.
I love him.
The possibilities. Okay. Lavelle Crawford shows up as one of his henchmen guys. Do you know Lavelle Crawford? The big
Is he a sports guy?
Lavelle Crawford. He's a comedian, big black man, and his voice is just so recognizable, and I love his comedy. He's so effortlessly funny, and he doesn't really have to do anything. He's kind of just there and says a couple lines, and I love it. Like, it just makes me feel more comfortable in this trap house.
Yeah, I like their little banter and how they're talking about fantasy football, and Rose was mad that everyone's part of fantasy football but him, but that reminded me of you with your fantasy football.
Hey, yeah, thanks for thinking of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, God, I love that addicting mess. Yeah, love fantasy football, guys.
I do have to add one thing. This isn't important to the story at all, but I enjoyed seeing it when up on the TV when they're talking about like Mike was wanted in Lassiter because they had the monkey disease or whatever. So there's like 3 TVs. And then the third screen was just a lady wrestling an alligator. And I love alligators. Like, just like rolling in the water with an alligator.
How have you never told me you love alligators, though?
Crawl, Lake Placid, Primeval.
Well, okay. You've told me you love creature features, which I know. But, like, I didn't know you loved alligators specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to have to cover, like, some alligator shit for you.
Definite creature features for sure.
Okay, yeah. Oh, we got this. Yeah, okay. You're gonna have to introduce me to some. Like, I need more creature features in my life, honestly.
It's not a creature feature, but I love the alligator scene in X.
Yes. Yeah.
I love.
Oh, it was perfectly executed. Oh man, I can't wait to talk about VHS with Ty West.
Same.
Yep. Just gonna drop that in there.
But yeah. They see on TV that Mike is wanted, so Rose locks him and Phoebe in his basement because...
Yeah, really cool basement, and adds another, like, cool environment to be in this movie with the black lights. And
it's all painted colorful.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's really cool. It feels like a...
Like a rave scene type.
Well, also, speaking of rave scenes, John. I when watching this movie, I'm like, oh my God, she's probably thinking of John Wick right now.
I 1000% was.
And the chop shop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, John Godzilla was on there too.
Yeah. It reminds me of when you go into like a big mall and they have one of those laser tag arenas and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, I love when Rose locks them in there. And Mike's like, hey, Rose, I could probably break this lock. And he's like, please don't.
John is so good at comedy. Like, you can flop him in anything. He'll make it better. Yeah, and Jesse Eisenberg. Like, I think they bounce very well because they are so different. But it works. Him and Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't really specify. But... it's a nice little blanket cover for what's actually going on in the town with the monkey virus, and it fits the tone of American Ultra. It's like, what the a monkey virus?
Oh, because American Ultra is obviously... I don't know much about MK Ultra.
I haven't read much about it.
Me neither, but obviously this is like
what
it's based off of. Right. So just another conspiracy theory thrown in there to whatever.
Yeah. Don't know much about it, so we won't speak on it. But yeah.
So they're trying to escape. Phoebe and Mike are trying to escape from Rose's house. Yeah, the basement. And Topher Grace's character Yates finds out that Mike and Phoebe are
Located
at
Rose's.
Yeah. And so he sends some tough guy assets over there, and they invade Rose's house, kill Rose, his friends, and they release a gas into the house. And Mike gets really affected by it, but they get out of the house.
Yes.
And that's where
Phoebe's trying to keep Mike awake.
Yeah, and we get a lot of really
sleep.
sweet flashbacks while Mike is passing out.
The montage of flashbacks. Oh my, they're like actually stunning, and I'm a sucker for a well done montage.
Yeah, and there's like snippets of them, and I like the acid on the tongue because they used to trip together, and it was just sweet. I just love that whole part. But he eventually wakes up, and Phoebe tells him that he's gonna be okay, and that's when Mike is like, "Wait, how do you know what that was?"
Yeah,
and
what the gas was, what it's gonna do to his body. Yes. Also, before we go into the like her knowing about the gas, like what I appreciate about the character of Mike and his arc in this story is that his love for Phoebe never wavers.
Yeah.
Like even what we're about to get to with her revealing the whole truth and stuff. It's just, even when they hit their low moment as a couple, with Mike feeling betrayed, their love is constant. And with Mike realizing he feels great and learning the truth and that he has these abilities, he's still concerned with proposing before she reveals about herself, you know. It's just very sweet. I just wanted to add that quick. But yeah, okay, so he's wondering why she knows this stuff.
Yeah, and she reveals to him that she was his handler because she also used to work for the CIA. And
very shocked. Did you pick up on that at all? Your first time watching?
No, I was like,
was it a big twist to you?
Yes, had zero idea.
Okay, I think it wasn't a surprise to me, because I think I kind of knew about it already, but I didn't know like I couldn't think of a scene in my head from it before you showed it to me, honestly. So I think I wasn't surprised. Unfortunately, I wish I was.
Yeah, well, I think I saw it when it first came out.
Oh yeah, okay.
But yeah, so Mike obviously feels very betrayed by Phoebe and thinks that their whole lives together is a lie. And yeah, so they get into a fight.
It's actually really heartbreaking.
It is really sad, actually. It was a good performance from them both.
Yes, yeah, it actually like got serious, you know, like usually in like rom-coms or action comedy rom-coms like this one, when you get the down moment between the two main characters, the couple, you know, when stuff gets serious and there's a little like wrench to be thrown into things, sometimes it lands, sometimes it doesn't. This one does, for sure. And the strength of this film, at least for me, like I said, is my connection to their relationship. It's honestly like their scenes are the ones I've enjoyed rewatching and still invest in. And Phoebe's choice to be with Mike instead of the CIA is a beautiful reminder to me of something I'll talk about later. Just had to tease.
After their argument, Mike tries to drive away in Phoebe's car, and Phoebe's always trying to explain to Mike, you know, she does love him.
Yeah, it
wasn't whatever. But Laffer comes in a big Humvee and smashes into their car and flips them over the bridge. No. Just can't catch a break, those two.
He, like Walton Goggins, like I said, Laffer adds a sense of danger. And even rewatching the scene where he runs them off the bridge in their car, like that's like, oh, like I was concerned for our characters there. I fucking hate you, man. Well, I fucking hate you too, man. I love their back and forth.
Same. But yeah, their car's fucked up, upside down.
Oh, man.
When it flew off the bridge, and Laffer comes in takes Phoebe
out of yanks her out. Yeah, starts pouring gas.
And makes Phoebe watch. But what they don't see is that Agent Lassiter comes in and pulls Mike out before the car blows up. So Laffer and Phoebe are under the impression that Mike blew up in the car.
Right.
Thankful for Victoria for that.
Thank you, Connie.
All of her names.
I know, right? Taylor, Coach Taylor's wife in Friday Night Lights. That's where I first saw Connie Britton, I'm pretty sure. Oh, man. I mean, it's football. You probably wouldn't like it. Football drama.
Definitely
yeah,
not.
Sorry. Yeah. No, it's not right up your alley, but...
But those two getting separated, Laffer takes Phoebe to where Yates is stationed outside of Max Goods, which, fun fact, that was supposed to be a Walmart that they're stationed in front of.
Oh, no way.
But they obviously couldn't use that, so it's Max Goods, named after Max Landis, who wrote it.
Okay.
Just a little fun fact there.
That's awesome. Makes a lot more sense.
So that's where they go, and Lassiter and Mike go back to Mike and Phoebe's house because he just wants to die there. He just wants to go there, get high.
Yep.
And
before that,
yes,
it was a bit of an info download, but I could definitely follow Mike and Lassiter's conversation after she saves him. I really appreciate that because it adds a bit of gray area with taking an impressionable 18-year-old, putting him in a government experiment, making it successful with Mike, then ending up driving him insane, wiping his memories, and giving him phobias, which like totally explains the anxiety and the panic attacks and inability to leave town, which I love because it adds to the story for me and kind of gives me that reasoning. Okay, like that's why that happened. And like you actually feel something towards it, you know. And Lassiter and Phoebe have good intentions. That's where it gets complicated and fun to dissect, even in a fun action comedy like this. That's not that serious. And hey, maybe I'm reading into it too much, but that's what I took from it. But like when you were talking about him going back to the house, so wrapping it back to that, he's not just going to go back to the house. Or no, Phoebe and Yates are talking when Yates has Phoebe in that like army tent or whatever. He's not just going to go back to the house. Mike can be a little slow sometimes, but he's not a fucking idiot. They're right outside his house in the very next scene that they cut to.
I love that.
Yeah. So there we are.
That reminds me, unrelated, it reminds me of a scene, one of my favorite movie scenes ever. It was from Devil's Rejects. When they're driving and Baby wants ice cream. And then our Captain Spaulding's like, there's no fucking ice cream in your fucking future. And the very next scene is all three of them are sitting in the truck eating ice cream. Anyways, I just love stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
You can cut that out, but...
No, that's great. Yeah, I'm so sorry that I don't...
it's fine.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, I also like... when Yates and Phoebe are talking.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, sorry, some lab rat made you come a bunch of times behind Taco Bell.
Oh my God,
like,
yeah.
That was reason to save him.
Just trying to shit on Mike.
Yeah.
Like, he thinks he's this, like, incompetent nothing. And it makes it feel that much better that Mike isn't. And
yeah.
He overcomes all this stuff. And, like, it explains everything. He was just put into this unfortunate circumstance. Mm-hmm. Apollo 8 becomes a little more sad when you think about Mike's phobias.
Why?
About leaving and adventuring.
Oh, I know, actually.
I thought about that a lot on my rewatch. I was like, Apollo 8 is hitting me right now. Like, this isn't just some little like fun that. Drawing. Yeah, I feel like that's coming out of his subconscious in a way, too. It seems like this dumb, or not dumb even, just this wacky creative thing that he went off on when he was high one day or something, you know, or tripping. And he just like writes this freaking comic you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I found it deeper. I don't know
Actually,
if
yeah.
anybody else takes it that way, but
Well, now when I rewatch, I'm going to keep that in mind. Because I
Awesome.
will be watching it again.
okay,
obviously.
awesome. Yeah, me too, probably. Lassiter telling Mike what us as an audience want him to know about Phoebe. Thank you. Like that she stayed for him. You know, just that little, sometimes in shows, you're just like, just say the damn thing. Then it'll be fine. But people hold stuff in. They don't get the truth or something that they need to hear at the time. And you're just like, please, what the fuck are you doing? You know? Yeah.
And how she, left her entire life behind to be with Mike. Oh, I just love it.
Exactly. Like, it really hits you. And it's like, okay, like, Mike needed to hear that. And this is the right moment.
I wonder how much older Phoebe is than Mike if she was already a CIA agent.
Oh, shit. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if she was also recruited by the CIA, but for different reasons.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like, as a young 18-year-old. Like, instead of going off to college or something.
True. Yates orders Lassiter's old assistant, Petey, to send a drone to airstrike Mike's house while he's there.
So we didn't really mention, but yeah,
we
Petey
didn't. Sorry,
has
that was
helped
on that.
Lassiter throughout this movie. I mean, it
we
is a
can cut
little
that out.
thing.
Never mind.
No.
Okay.
No, keep
We
going.
just didn't mention it before.
No,
but
we
anyways.
can add it in.
Okay.
Yeah. We're adding it in right now.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that earlier that Petey has been helping
Lassiter this whole time. And then
Yates finds out, but he obviously does not hit the target at the house and couldn't do it. Couldn't bring himself to do it.
Couldn't do the drone strike.
So Yates has to send in more tough guys instead to go to the house, which is one of the such a cool fight scene when they start all breaking into the house. And I love the use of the fast-paced camera angles, but using the slow motion in the right times.
Yes.
Like the use of both of them.
Not overdoing it, and you get a good mix of both.
Yeah.
Instead of regular pace, slow motion. Regular pace, slow motion. Yeah, I get you. I appreciate that too. The frying pan.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Wanted. It feels like, kind of the bullet wrapping around.
Oh, okay, yes, it
with
is.
James McAvoy. And with mentioning that along with the action in this movie, I gotta ask, knowing you're a huge fan of amazing gunfights, I noticed something on my rewatch you're not too fond of in any movie. What do you think that is in the action scenes?
Not realistic amount of bullets.
No.
What?
Maybe.
What do I
didn't
hate
notice
in
that,
action
but
movies?
CGI blood.
I didn't mind it in this one.
It was very quick, but I noticed those spurts from the gun bullets, not even the stabbing or anything.
Oh,
I'm not going off of there. I'm going off of when
the
bodies are being hit by bullets. Pretty sure that spray is CGI'd in there.
Oh,
it looked
is.
like, at least.
It didn't bother me though. Like when he bounces the bullet off the pen.
I just had to give you shit.
No.
I noticed that today, just rewatching that part.
I have my blinders on because it's my favorite movie.
Yeah. Hey, all right. Okay, so you can pick apart other fucking movies for it. Like, totally
kidding.
killer.
That was not good CGI blood.
You're right. It has to be done right if you're gonna. If you have to save money, actually, how would you fucking save money?
CGI is so expensive.
Exactly. Just use practical blood, those practical effects when the chest things that they use in the packets or whatever. But anyways, I had to get into that a little bit. That
was a good question though.
I just poked Ashlee a little bit. Yeah.
Wow.
This is why we're co-hosts.
Rude. All the tough guys that go to Mike's house, Mike ends up killing. And in the meantime, Yates and Phoebe, where are they going again?
Yates and Phoebe, they're going to that mart or that store.
Oh fuck, they weren't there yet?
I think they've been there. Oh no, they're when okay, so when Mike and Lassiter are first walking up on the house, Phoebe and Yates are in that army tent. talking. Then I'm pretty sure the next place they're at is the store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be coming up on one of my favorite scenes of the movie, which is when Mike wants to go save Phoebe, and
Are you getting into the fireworks? Okay, perfect. Okay, that's where I'm at.
okay, yep.
All right.
And okay, sure. So
No, you're good. Keep going.
yeah, Mike is gonna go save Phoebe, and the fireworks that he got from Rose come into play, and they are going into Max Goods, Yates and Phoebe. Mm-hmm. And the music starts. That was in the beginning, so you just know something cool is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And Mike comes in on, like, in a tank, shooting all the fireworks towards the store. And I just love that part so much. It's definitely my favorite scene of the movie.
Yeah. Yep. The fireworks like finally showing up. It's pretty epic how Mike enters back into the story.
And Phoebe's so happy to see him and knew that he was gonna come save her.
I know. Yeah. It's just the guy he is. I never doubted it for a second.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a movie that's kind of leaning.
Like, of course, that's gonna happen.
Of course,
Yeah.
he's gonna go rescue her and realize, oh, she is actually in love with me.
Yeah.
You know, she did stay for me, gave up her whole fucking. Seriously, Mike, you could make a whole list of what Phoebe did for you. But he's a good dude. He just didn't know. I also like the setting for the end fight in the store.
Same.
Yep. There's a lot of fun to be had in that freaking store. Like all the objects you can use. And
it really reminded me of John Wick 3 in the knife scene when he's going through
in the library with that basketball player.
all of the scenes. Library using books, in the knife store where he's throwing all the knives.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And so
yeah.
this, him being in the grocery store, and a lot of it was like one take fight scenes, like just seeing Mike like fuck up all these people with different objects.
Oh,
it was
I know.
very reminiscent of John Wick.
It really is. Yeah. Yeah. It adds to the wackiness and the fun of the action for the movie, which I like. It's not all just gunfighting and hand to hand. You know, there's just some the wacky violence. The smoke makes Jesse Eisenberg badass.
I know,
He
it's
walks
shocking.
Through the smoke, right?
It's shocking.
Holy shit. I was like, all right, okay. I gotta show Nell that, because if she thinks he's so awkward and everything, well, check this out. Yeah, there's proof right there. Yeah. Yates feeling all manly beating on an injured woman.
Handcuffed.
My goodness. God, I hate that guy. I can't.
He's funny.
Topher Grace adds to it too. Like, you can't hate Topher Grace. He's just good at doing that. He's good at being a sarcastic asshole. Yeah.
I like when he was hiding behind one of the like guards. Oh, who was coming for him though? And he was like acting tough, and then
Oh my God. Who was that?
I don't remember, but he was so scared hiding behind the guard's back.
Yep. Yeah, I just can't recall right now.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, just yeah, all these things going on. I am into that. Honestly though, when Lassiter ends up saving Phoebe and like starting to strangle Yates, I wasn't like, hell yeah. I don't know. It was kind of like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, of course that's gonna happen. I
Yeah.
don't know how they did the effect on Topher Grace to make it look like he was being strangled like that.
Oh man, actually it was pretty realistic. like,
Yeah,
choking.
it was like hard to look at almost.
Actually, yeah.
And then while Lassiter's saving Phoebe, we get another fight scene between Mike and Laffer,
Yes.
which ends up being pretty sad.
Always love a showdown between two characters I like.
Same.
Laffer and Mike. Like, actually love. Like, I love these two characters in the movie. And honestly, I know Yates is the main villain. I prefer Laffer. And I feel like me as a person in stories, I love villains. I do. So do you, I know. But I love I usually love these side villains for some reason. They are just cooler and they have cooler backstories usually.
I agree.
For some reason. I don't know. I'm a guy that likes the cooler, badass characters that I latch onto for some reason.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm the same.
And usually it's like, yeah, you get this like old mad scientist that is the main villain, but you got a cool experiment that he made or something. You know, like, yeah, you get me.
One thing that makes me think of super not same genre, but I love. You can cut this out too if you want to.
No,
but I love
add yourself.
on Krampus that he comes with like a posse, like all the different creatures and stuff.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love that it's not just Krampus the creature, it's also all these
You have to like get through all these other things to get to that.
The minions.
Yeah.
And it's not like stormtroopers in Star Wars where they're just very disposable.
Thankfully.
Hey now. Do not. We're not. But yeah, like all these little minions, and they all look different. They all have their different roles they play, stuff like that. Yeah, I get you. Good bringing that up. I like that.
I just wanted to mention how in this final scene with Laffer and Mike, where they're both just defeated sitting across from each other, you learn that Laffer, is the same as Mike, and he was taken and forced to do this, except Yates took people with like mental illnesses and is trying to make them assassins, and it's just so sad. And Laffer is like, I'm just like you, but you're better. And it was just so sad, and Mike lets him live.
It's like that. Actually, I do have it here, and I think it really adds to that gray area where like all these programs and experiments that the government is doing, and talking about like MK Ultra and stuff, taking these vulnerable people, right? Mental illness and criminals. Like, honest, I couldn't tell you which is worse. I'm not even gonna but both of them are just horrible if you think about it, just very impressionable, right? And eventually you see that human connection prevails in this story, even with Laffer relating to Mike and surrendering, like you said, when they're like sitting across from each other. And Walton Goggins almost makes me tear, like he almost made me tear up twice during his apology. It's basically an apology. I'm sorry. Like,
same.
It's worse with his two teeth. I told you, it makes him sound more innocent. And I feel like that helped this scene. It's funny that like that happened like quite a bit earlier in the movie. But he comes in clutch, like in anything he's in. Seriously, he elevated that performance. You could have tossed some random actor in there, but
way less effective if it was someone else.
Exactly.
But do Phoebe and Mike meet up now? No Yates, no
yeah,
Laffer?
I think we can go to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Laffer apologizes. Mike chooses to not shoot him. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Me too.
Like Laffer is done for. Like Mike could just, dispose of him. But no, they're both human at the end of the day, and they both got used. Mm-hmm. Like, man, yeah, it's cool for a fun story like this to have something like that.
Yeah,
I like
it has everything.
It does.
But now that most of the obstacles are out of the way, Mike and Phoebe are finally reunited. Mm-hmm. They walk out of the store looking absolutely horrific, just beat up.
They had a day.
Yeah. So Mike and Phoebe are finally reunited.
Yep.
And they walk out of the store together and notice that they are absolutely surrounded by police and have lasers on them. And Mike is going to use this time to pull the ring out and propose to Phoebe. And of course she says yes. And right before they are going to kiss, they get tased.
Yep.
And fall straight to the ground.
Yeah, it totally fits the tone of the movie. I do love that. That is a good moment for him to propose. Honestly, that is the natural way I would go, just in this story. I love it. I love it. It was so awesome. And it's kind of funny that it's in front of a lot of people, but not the people they would want,
So that's where Mike and Phoebe are together at the moment. And then Bill Pullman's character, Kruger, has Yates and Lassiter in like the woods somewhere with a gun pointed at him because we won't go too much into this, but he's the one that warned Lassiter about Mike being killed because he knew how important Mike was to Lassiter. And anyways, he ends up shooting Topher Grace, his character, or he ends up shooting Yates.
I do like the reveal that he did warn Lassiter.
Yeah.
By the way, like at least that was explained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not just left. Yep.
Everything is like tied up.
Yeah.
But
everything?
Not everything.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, Yates gets killed for treason and just being like a douchebag, and Victoria Lassiter is allowed to live, and she convinces Bill Pullman's character that Mike is
a success.
Is a success, the most successful out of all of them, and he's important and useful. So he's they're
a good asset for the CIA going forward. Exactly.
And so then we cut to, what is it, 6 months later or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mike and Phoebe are in...
Russia, was it? Gosh, what city? It pops up on the screen. I don't remember.
I've seen it so many times, but I can't remember.
I know. I'm blanking on it right now.
It's okay. They're somewhere.
They're somewhere in
outside of the United States.
Country.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it ends with Mike getting captured by like some Asian criminals, and he's tied up and looking around the room at all the basic items that are around that he can use to kill these people. And there's a really cool cutscene where Mike gets out of the chair, and there's a really cool transition scene where Mike is getting up out of his chair and he turns into Apollo Ape, and it's all animated.
Yes.
And he's like fucking these guys up, but it's all
Apollo Ape
doing it, and the animation is so cool and colorful, and it was just like a really great end credit scene. Like whoever did that did such a good job.
Yeah, I think so too. And I like that Apollo Ape was wrapped back into it, and it gave it more artistic style. And yeah, definitely, I get that too.
But I think we pretty much... Is there anything else you wanted to add or mention?
It does make sense that Mike and Phoebe would have to be agents for everything to be right in the end with the government, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, okay, yeah. Because I think Bill Pullman's character, always forgetting his name.
Kruger.
He mentions to Lassiter, like, you like have to. And that Mike, in order to live, and Phoebe, they have to be back in.
And he's so good. I'm sure he doesn't mind. And he's allowed to obviously travel now and leave the town.
Yes.
So he's probably just living.
I'm so happy for him. He's basically Apollo Ape now.
Yeah.
That's why he turns into him in there.
I love that.
There we go. Okay. We connected all the dots. Yeah. Like fun ending. Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to say about the ending at all?
I don't think so.
No. Yeah.
Just that I think I'm good on mentioning stuff about the movie.
It wasn't like a big bang ending, like with him being revealed as a secret agent now and stuff like that. It wasn't like, oh my God, like that was so amazing. It was kind of just like, all right.
Well, I felt that way about it.
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
The way to cap it off, like a lot of...
I actually wasn't crazy about that scene, the ending scene.
Thank you. Yes, that's what I mean.
I didn't really care for it that much.
That's what I mean.
But I loved the transition into Apollo Ape.
Yes.
So I loved the end credits and what leads, like, not what leads up to that, but just that reveal.
Ashley, we're on the same page about this.
Okay, cool, good.
Okay. So you can't get mad at me now.
No, I mean,
All
I
right.
can.
Get off my back. All right. Yeah. So it's a really good movie though.
Yeah, and a lot of people have not seen it.
I feel that too. I haven't really talked to many people that have seen it. We do live in North Dakota though.
That's true. It's a sleeper cell of a movie, if you will. But it is streaming on Prime though, for free.
Yes.
If you wanted to watch it, or
and also available to rent on Apple TV Plus, YouTube, etc.
Yeah.
Reminds me of. Should we go on to that?
Sure, you go first.
Me first?
Yeah.
Okay. So I did I bent my own rules for reminds me of, and I just went with one, and it's also not a movie. It's just it felt so obvious to me rewatching this a couple times, and I'm just like, okay, I'm back there again. And where I was the TV series Chuck. It's one of my favorite TV series. Oh God, I said that really weird. Ever. I've seen it 5 times all the way through, and it stars Zachary Levi and one of my favorite actresses, Yvonne Strahovski. It's also about an ordinary guy that all of a sudden discovers that he has something special about him, and it's linked to the CIA. It's very nerdy, funny, lighthearted, sad, and it pays tribute to all things special agents that came before it, like James Bond, and also nerdy stuff. And you see actors and actresses pop up from all these older series that were super popular, like Firefly and things like that. I haven't seen those, so I can't speak upon them much, but it also centers a love story between the ordinary guy and his CIA handler, but more of a will they, won't they type of thing. They aren't like boyfriend, girlfriend. They're fake boyfriend and girlfriend, actually, to start it off. It's a cover. It features some of my favorite quotes, and I featured a big one in my vows to my wife for our wedding, and she fortunately let me show it to her the whole series, and it's very special to both of us now, and that's probably why I connected to this love story so much, honestly. So, I mean, can you blame me for linking that? That's what it reminds me of. I can't, yeah.
I have not seen Chuck. I know you love it,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't. You never explained it that well to me, and that makes me want to watch it immediately.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's tough for me to explain series when they have a big thing to explain. I can't really. So when I write notes, it helps.
Yeah, I'll definitely be checking out Chuck.
Okay, perfect.
Force Ryan to watch it with me too.
And I do have the Blu-ray set. If
So
you guys
I will be
need-
borrowing your Blu-ray
There
set.
we go. Perfect. Okay.
I have 2. One of them we talked about on the pod already, which is Upgrade,
Hell yeah.
of course.
Okay.
Because
yeah, that makes sense to me.
I mean, he has the ability to do. Was an ordinary guy who got put in a situation to make himself not. He didn't know what he was capable of, basically.
Yeah. I get
It's
you
not
there.
the same exact thing.
No, but all of a sudden, so since Mike was a sleeper agent, he wasn't this agent and had all these abilities the whole time. Neither did Gray in Upgrade, and then all of a sudden it unlocks, right?
Yeah.
So I get you there. Yeah, it makes sense to me.
I had another one too, but I don't think it's relevant actually.
Which one?
Idle Hands.
Idle Hands? Oh, okay. Why did this remind you of that?
Because Devon Sawa is just complete stoner, so lazy and
Is it the main character in that?
Yep, Devon
movie?
Sawa plays
Okay.
Anton in there.
Oh,
And so he's just total stoner.
Yeah.
And
This could be a stoner movie for sure.
American Ultra,
Yeah.
it was advertised as a stoner movie, so I think that's kind of why it went kind of slipped under the radar. Which I don't know why, because the stoner movies are so good all the time, most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it wasn't really advertised as an action movie.
Sure. And also weed is becoming more popularized and legalized now. So I'm sure that's why more people are checking it out, hopefully, and
I
hopefully
still
more
haven't
people.
heard anybody freaking mentioning it.
Not really.
Like, ever. I know a couple
No.
people who've seen it, but hopefully now everybody goes and watches it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I agree.
But in Idle Hands, like I said, Stoner, Devin Sawa, his hand gets possessed.
Oh my God.
That he cannot control his hand.
Oh, I didn't know that's what it was about.
Yeah. However, I changed my mind about its relevancy because Mike can control himself.
Oh,
You know,
I get where you were thinking.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like regular guy, Stoner is like thrown into a situation where like he's not normal anymore. But it's
And it's fun with now that you bring that up though. In Chuck, he doesn't control it.
oh, okay.
I'm not going to say much more, but yeah, you'll enjoy it. I think.
I think that I will too.
Yeah, I'm
And
excited.
Ryan.
Yeah. Ryan, you better enjoy it.
But do you have anything else you want to mention at all?
No, I kind of just wanted to do that one because I had kind of a lot to say on it. Didn't want to bore anybody. Yeah.
What have you watched lately?
Well, yeah, we got to do Now Playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of just wondering if you had any more reminds me of. Okay. So Now Playing. So recently I did go to the American remake of Speak No Evil. And wow, quickly it became one of my favorite get me the fuck out of here thrillers. It was right up my alley. I have seen the original Danish version, Shudder original. I will say I'm not absolutely in love with the Danish version. I think I did enjoy it more in my first watch, but I did rewatch it before watching this one. And it really bothered me that people are like, this is being remade. It was just made a couple years ago. Why are we remaking this? Well, there are big differences in audiences, like worldwide. Like US is so different. And I've heard plenty of podcasts, plenty of reviews. I just listened to the House of Cinema, and I loved all their points on it. Clara had really good points about it. And like I was like, thank you. Like you read my mind basically. But yeah, like that American audiences wouldn't really accept the tone of the original Danish version. And it's different. It's not 1-to-1. That's all I'll say. Because I want to deep dive on it with you and whoever else wants to. Like, because it's one of my favorites of the year already.
I know. I knew that you would love it. When
It was right up my alley. Yeah, I gave it 4.5 stars, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Like, it connected with me. That's all I need to know. It wasn't absolutely perfect, and that's why I gave it 4.5. But yeah, James McAvoy, please be in more shit. Love that man.
Same.
But since I kind of went on a rant about that, I can't really speak on the other discourse on it. That will maybe be brought up when we kind of talk about it. But yeah, just I just want to tell people, hey, it's all right. You know, were you gonna watch the Danish version? I can ask that of some people, you know, because some people don't like subtitles, some people don't like watching foreign films. So yeah, that's what I recently watched, and obviously just gonna get into spooky season here. I'm watching a bunch of horror shit. Other than what about you?
Well, also saw Speak No Evil.
Oh yeah,
Loved it.
not together unfortunately.
Yeah, well, at least I told you beforehand that you were going to adore it.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but I did just go see the new movie. I don't even like saying the name, but
My Old Ass.
I said that, and Ryan is like, mild ass.
Did you say it really fast together? Yeah. My Old Ass.
But no, My Old Ass with Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
I don't know the other gal's name, the main girl, Aubrey Plaza's younger self.
I'd have to look again,
Yeah,
too.
I didn't. But it was so good. It was so funny, and I don't know, made me cry. I just think that was one that everybody should go watch.
When you texted me that you cried, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know you. Obviously, you're not a robot. You feel things. I know this, but for some reason, I didn't think. Oh yeah, Ashley probably cries at movies like I do. Do you usually not though?
I do.
We haven't really talked about this.
I do sometimes. Sometimes for some reason, if I think something is so cool, like I think I cried during John Wick 4 because I was just like so overwhelmed with what I was seeing.
That's in a different way. Wow. I honestly, like, for me in that situation, my face usually hurts from like smiling so goddamn hard.
Same.
Yeah.
But no, like if it is like really sad, I will. I can't think of movies right now that I've cried to.
Yeah.
Logan.
Oh. And I'm so surprised because I know it's rated R and I know it's Hugh Jackman and it's James Mangold and everything, but it's superhero Ashley. Like, oh man.
But I
feel like you could dip a little bit into it in like some parts, honestly.
Of what?
Maybe you'd like
the
Spider-Man.
MCU?
Yes. I think you'd like Spider-Man.
I do like Spider-Man. I just haven't seen the Tom Holland ones.
Then we got to get you on them. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I do like Spider. Like I like.
Okay, you would be watching.
I do like all the Spider-Mans. I watch Into the Spider-Verse. Like I like that.
Yes. Okay. I'm glad you've seen that.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you be down to watch?
Yeah, because I got to show Ryan that
Tom
too.
Holland?
Oh,
I'll come over.
The Spider-Verse one we have to watch with Ryan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I do need to watch that trilogy, the Tom one.
Yeah.
But I do like Spider-Man.
We will.
But another thing that we watched, me and Ryan and Hunter and Nell went to go see Beetlejuice together.
Yes. It's been a while. I mean, obviously we haven't potted for a while, and sorry about that, guys. Still, getting things
we won't
together.
get too much into that one because we'll probably end up talking about it at some point.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. So there was that. I just finished watching Monsters, the Eric and Lyle Menendez story, new with Ryan Murphy. It was really good, actually. I know Ryan Murphy has some mixed reviews. People either love him or hate him, but I am in that same boat. But I love him. Most things that he does.
I'm in the same boat too.
Like I can pick and choose what's good that he does and what's not good. Yeah.
I do feel like he does too much.
Yeah.
I feel like he's
coming out with
another.
thin. He's coming out with a lot of stuff. There's the show Grotesque that's coming out on Hulu.
That's the insane thing. That's why I think he's spread thin.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like this stuff could be better and like more time spent on. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can't really think of.
I need to check out that Monsters season because I've only seen the Jeffrey Dahmer one. Evan Peters was incredible. It was interesting kind of like seeing things play out. It just a horrible thing that happened. It's just nuts to think about. And I really want to see, I will be tuning in for season 3.
Charlie Hunnam is Ed Gein. Are you
Let's
joking?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Andy and I actually covered a movie that he looks grungy as shit in and like doesn't look like the regular Charlie Hunnam. He actually looks pretty bad. Children of Men.
It's been a while since I watched it. I didn't know
he's in there as one of like kind of the side like bad guys. Gosh, I forgot how to describe his character. He is opposing the main character though, and yeah, he just looks like shit. Honestly,
maybe that's why I don't recognize
Charlie
him.
Hunnam. Respect, you are a handsome guy. I can never look like you, but in that movie, you did a good job at looking not like you.
I'll have to rewatch that.
You will, yeah. Andy and I, we mentioned that in the pod too. I remember that. I will be tuning in for that one. But yeah, I want to watch I've been hearing things about the Menendez brothers.
I'm sure there's other stuff that I've watched lately, but I just want to start watching spooky movies. It's gonna be October soon.
Yep. Getting in the mood.
Yeah. There's stuff, but if I think of it, I'll mention it on the next one.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that was our now playing. And that was American Ultra.
Yeah.
Ashley's pick. How'd you feel?
Glad to
talking
finally,
about one of your like absolute favorites.
yeah, glad we finally got to talk about it. It was really fun. I just
Yeah.
had a good feeling about this episode.
Yeah. I mean, can you doubt us?
No.
Yeah. Sorry about all the tangents we went on, guys, but when you talk movies, that's gonna happen, honestly. Lastly, I'll leave you guys with this. Make sure to follow us on socials, on Instagram at Hazardous Opinions Pod. Join us on Discord and follow our individual accounts on Letterboxd. All of them are listed in the episode description for you guys. Wherever you get your podcasts, just go to the show more and look at that description. And the links for the Letterboxd and everything will be there. If you want to reach out to us, you can email us at hazardousopinionspod@gmail.com. Also, if we could have you guys follow and rate us wherever you're listening today, we appreciate your support. Thank you guys so much. And it was really fun to talk to you about like a movie you really love. And I can't wait to keep doing this with you. And God, when Andy and Eric can come back to the team, and it's going to be an awesome spooky season. Also, if we could have you guys follow and rate us wherever you are listening today, we'd really appreciate it. Honestly, that it helps a lot. It's free. You don't have to spend anything. Just, give us a follow, and hopefully you listen and then give us those 5 stars. It really helps. And tell anybody you know to hang out with us, talk movies. And please reach out to us, guys. Like, we are totally up for suggestions. We're really open-minded people. So
Yeah, you should mesh it. Ignore.
can I please put that?
Yeah.
Can I have a blooper at
Yeah.
like end? Okay, we'll do it. We're doing it. Okay. Okay.
God.
Go ahead. You're good.
If you follow us on Instagram, we're definitely open to DMing maybe some stuff that you'd like for us to go over, or stuff you'd like to hear, genres or something, just so we like have an idea.
Yeah, also that works too. Or honestly, we're a small podcast, so like any sport is awesome. We just want to be able to talk to you guys, so Instagram is totally open.
I think that's everything that I have.
I think that's all I have. American Ultra.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. And can't wait for spooky season to start up here. And for you guys to hang out. Bye, everyone.
Bye.